everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mrs. T, but you can call me Anai, and this is School with Mrs. T. So let's get into it. So today's video, we are focusing on learning and home learning and the kinds of things that we can do at home with the children. That's not necessarily homework, but it can be homework based and some creative ideas that you can use at home. So I've got three main things that you can do at home. Number one, we can do writing for a purpose. And this can go from literally infant stage right through to key stage 3 and even A levels. So right through any kind of writing for purpose. So whether they're doodling their names, whether they are writing on a card for their friend, for a family member, whether they're writing a postcard or they're writing a letter, writing to Santa, writing to the Easter Bunny, any of those things. If they're writing for a purpose, writing a shopping list, any of those things, if they're writing for a purpose, then that can be such a fun but an interesting way to do your learning. So what you can do with that is you can then insert, so all of those keywords that you're thinking of in terms of, so in key stage 1, you have some tricky words in terms of phonics, so some high frequency words, usually named tricky words. You can use these as part of that writing for purpose. So you could have, for instance, 5 keywords that they're working on for that week. And then you could incorporate those in their writing for their full purpose. So if you are looking at you could write the ball was, etc. Or the car is red, or the car we saw yesterday was, and was is another tricky word. So you could incorporate all of their key spellings, their grammar and punctuation, homework. You could incorporate that in their everyday life, in their writing for purpose. Number 2, you could look at projects. So in terms of when I was teaching in Key Stage 2, we had this great idea where the children would have, for homework, they could make any kind of project they wanted, but it was surrounding, we were going to be teaching World War II the following term. So we said they could make a project all based on anything to do with World War II, any research that they'd done. So you could do a research paper, if you will, or a book, or you could make an aircraft and label that with all the different things, with all the different facts about that type of aircraft. You could, all of these kinds of things could be incorporated in their learning. And because they are researching, because they're going to be the ones who are presenting their homework or their project to their teachers, this could be a great way for them to bring in for show and tell. So obviously you'd use the internet. You can go to the library then. That could be another excuse to be able to go to the library and to bring out books all surrounding that particular project. Or if you haven't got a school project that you have to focus on, what you could do is, I have a friend of mine who recently took their child to the aquarium, and they absolutely love the aquarium. And I thought, oh wow, and I've taken my children to the aquarium as well, and they loved it. And so what we did, we started to learn about all the different animals that they had seen, key animals that that really piqued their interest. So perhaps they liked penguins, or they liked the polar bears, or they liked the stingrays that we saw. So we'd get a book out on stingrays and just find out different facts and information all about stingrays. And then we could even make a little fact book all about those stingrays. So it's all very much for a purpose. It's for them, and it's getting them when they're excited. So absolutely engaging them in their learning at the very point where they're excited. So we've got writing for purpose, we've got projects, and then number 3 is games. Games are super, super easy. So you could play hide and seek with those keywords. We're going to go back to the spelling. So those keywords, those tricky words or high frequency words, You could hide them all around the house. And then obviously you've cut them up, you've prepared them, you could hide them all around the house. And then you say 3, 2, 1, go, we're going to race. And then you race with each other, and then who can find however many? Right then, what's your word? What's my word? What's your word? What's my word? And that's practicing that reading. That's practicing that recall. Not the recall, sorry, that's practicing that reading, or the recall of the word, but it's practicing the reading of the high frequency words. And that's such an interesting way and such a great and fun way to be able to do it. Another thing that you might want to do is play snap, maybe. So perhaps if we're still learning phonic sounds, you might want to play snap. So you might prepare some key sounds that they're looking at, that or they've looked at this week. You have maybe A, E, I, O, and U, or oo, or oo, whichever way you want, whichever one you're looking at that week. And then you could play snap. And so you're playing, and then with each card, and then you say snap. And why is that snap? What sound is that? That's oo. What sound is that? Ooh. It's the same sound. You could even play snap with cards where it doesn't just have the sounds, it has a sound and the picture. So you could maybe make it really creative, really fun for the children, and so that they are engaged. And it's a fun way, it's a different way of being able to do homework, but you're still incorporating their learning, sorry, from that week or from the past few weeks. So number 1, we had writing for a purpose. Number 2, we had projects. Number 3 is games. So hopefully you've had some ideas from those 3, and I'll probably do another video that's a little bit longer, focused on just the projects, just the games, and just the different ideas for writing for purpose. But those are just some things to start off with for you to be able to use with your child when you're doing your learning at home. So hopefully that was really useful for you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.